Super Mario 64. This game is one of the most iconic games of all time. It defined 3D platforming, revolutionized how we think about video game movement, and set the gold standard for basically every 3D platformer that came after it. This game isn't just legendary, it's the game that has shaped countless of childhoods. And it's a game that I have never played. I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue how this happened. I actually watched a lot of Super Mario 64 content while growing up, and somehow I never played the game. And fun fact, back then I was a super naive child. I mean, I was convinced that Star Road, the ROM hack, was the official sequel to Super Mario 64, and that you could unlock Luigi if you collect every single coin in the game, and that Mickey Mouse was in Smash Bros? How? So, when I finished watching a Let's Play of the game and saw that you could greet Yoshi after getting 120 stars, I was very skeptical. Video footage only was simply not gonna be enough. I had to see it with my own eyes. But I unfortunately forgot about it. So, 10 years later, I am finally playing Super Mario 64 for the first time ever, to get all 120 stars and see if Yoshi is actually real. Oh, and also, I'll be getting every single achievement in the game with the help of RetroAchievements. This will basically add extra challenges for me to do, as the set for the game has 114 achievements? I can't even count that high, bro, what? So, without further ado, let's start this journey in Bob-omb Battlefield. What a perfect introduction to one of the games of all time, and what a perfect way to ruin it with achievements. Speaking of them, as you enter the world, okay. Oh, that's a lot of stars. Stars? That's a lot of achievements now. Yeah, that's a lot of achievements for the first stage. Kinda overwhelming, but that's what happens when a set has 114 achievements. Before battling King Bob-omb, what I did first was use both of the warps to get the first achievement of the game, Secrets of the Battlefield. This is the first achievement type of mini, as you're required to use every warp in the game. And now that I made it to the boss itself, I have to beat King Bob-omb hitless so I can get the achievement Bob-omb Blaster. While I'm at it, that is also a requirement for every other boss fight in the game. You have to beat them hitless. And well, as for this fight, well, it's King Bob-omb. What'd you expect for it to be hard? Bro moves slower than my grandma with a walking cane. I got it to my first try. He's not trying to fight me, he's trying to buy some groceries, dude. He's walking to Target right now. I collected my first power star and also got the achievement A New Journey. Wow, 3 achievements in the span of 10 minutes? This is for sure gonna be easy. Just look at the video length, dude. I am fooling no one. Now we have Foot Race with Koopa the Quick, where I just took the same path I did to get to King Bob-omb. Wait, why didn't I use the warp? What was I doing? And got the power star first try. I also got Shoot to the Island in the Sky pretty easily. And while speaking to these Bob-omb buddies, I'll make progress towards the Cannoneer achievement, where I have to activate all 11 cannons in the game. I do say that I got the star pretty easily, but I thought you could get to the island with this cannon here at the start. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Next up is find the 8 red coins. And the funny thing about this star, and with almost every red coin star in the game, you have to collect them without taking damage for the achievements. And, yeah, this one took a while. Instead of me getting the star normally so I know where the coins are located, I just decided to wing it. This was a really bad decision, as, oh my god, I cannot control the camera. I can't control the thing that allows me to see! I grew up on the PlayStation 1, and still play games there regularly, and most of them have you control the camera with the LT and RT buttons, which is bad, considering I have to use the C buttons that are mapped to my right analog stick. So yeah, I had to get used to the controls because every time I wanted to move the camera, I accidentally pressed either LT or RT on my controller. And that led to me... Look, I have no clue what I was doing either. And the route I took made me collect the red coin on this hill here last, and made me go through the battlefield. And there, I met my biggest threat. Water. But yeah, 20 minutes later, I got the achievement. And after an embarrassing time with the chain shop, and I really do mean embarrassing, I got both its star along with the 100 coin star. And now it's time to attempt a long walk into the mountain, which requires you to climb to the top of the mountain without using warps or without pressing A. It sounds easy, but at the beginning I encountered my first challenge, a bridge. And after an unsuccessful attempt, I managed to get over the bridge and get the achievement. Fun fact, this set has challenges for certain stars. For example, for the Mario Wings to the Sky Star, you would usually wait until you get the wing cap, but for the Mario Shoots to the Sky achievement, you have to collect the star without it. This isn't hard, but just very tedious, as you have to get to the island, hop in the cannon, hope you aim correctly, because if you didn't, you need to walk all the way back and repeat the process until you eventually do it. And I hate this achievement because it took me such a long time to get the last 2 coins, which made me lose my sanity. Like, please just get it! Get it! Get it! But after that, I got both the achievement along with full course in the battlefield because I collected all 7 stars in the stage. There's also an achievement called Jump to the Island of the Sky, which requires you to get to the island star without the cannon. And if you think I can pull off 2 precise long jumps from the top of the hill, well, think again. I decided to attempt this one a tad bit later and try Mario's speedrun on the plains, which requires you to beat Koopa the Quick in 34 seconds or less. Wait, what was my time when I got the star? 1 minute and 2 seconds. Oh boy. Looking back at it, I should have attempted this way later because this achievement is insanely precise. First off, you cannot take the regular path but have to learn how to skip most of the stage and get to the warp. Everyone suggests to do this triple jump at the corner of the map, and after trying for like 10 minutes, I kinda realized that you have to have essentially the perfect lineup and perfect inputs for you not to slide off. And yeah, no, I wasn't doing that. And even when I did perform the skip, the lowest time I managed to get was almost 37 seconds, and I didn't want to spend hours trying to shave 3 seconds off of the time. After digging around in the comments of the achievement, I found something much simpler. Basically, if you jump kick and land on this white wall, hold A and spam B, you'll give Mario an aneurysm and make it up to the wall. It sounds complicated, but I got the achievement on my second try with this method. After that, I made my way up to the Princess's Secret Slide to collect both of the stars there. I got ready to fight Bowser after collecting my first power star in the stage, although I'm not gonna fight him until much later on. Instead, I attempted Princess's Secret Treasure, which requires you to collect every coin. Did you know that there is a blue coin switch in this stage? Yeah, I didn't. It's not like this is my first time playing the game or something. I actually missed a singular coin, and I got it in a very interesting way if I do say so myself. But after getting the achievement, I collected the last power star before attempting Mario's Speed Slide, where you have to finish the slide in 17 seconds or less. This one took longer, 5 minutes in fact, which doesn't sound like a lot, but considering how short the slide is, it kinda is. You have to do the speedrun strat where you have to immediately jump over the walls, and it took me some time to figure out the right angle to jump from, meaning I sent Mario to the void, never to be seen again. And I did eventually get it, but they jumped way too early and landed on the edge and broke Mario's spine. I did want to go to the next stage, but as I was going through the achievement list, I kinda forgot one set of achievements. You know the 1-ups, right? Yeah, the things you casually grab and immediately forget about. Well, the lifesaver achievements make you collect every single 1-up in a stage without leaving. So I went back to Bob-omb Battlefield to get its lifesaver achievement, as well as the 2 1-ups in Princess's Secret Slide. I was kinda stupid and thought that the last 1-up you had to collect every single coin for it to appear, but you just had to bonk the wall. Wish I knew that earlier. Oh, and I'm not gonna bother talking about the lifesaver achievements that much, as you just have to explore the stage and you'll get most of them without any issues. And that's the key word, most of them. We'll get there, don't you worry. And now we're on to Whomp's fortress, and before climbing up and defeating King Whomp himself, I decided to give this wall a good old sniff. Yep, smells like a wall. Oh, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, I just wanted to get the warp achievement for this stage. With secrets of the fortress out of the way, now it's time to fight King Whomp. And with a very central message aside, beating him endless was also not a problem, since you can just phase through him while ground pounding like you're David Copperfield. Mario Koopa Field. So I got the achievement Whomp Crusher on my first try too. To the top of the fortress was a cakewalk as well. I literally retraced my steps, but now I had to climb up this ugly ass tower to get the star. But for Shoot to the Wild Blue, I had to beat it without the cannon for the Cannonless into the Wild Blue achievement. So after opening up the cannon and using it for, nah, I'm just joking, I styled on it like a boss. I styled on it like a boss. I styled on it like a boss. There we go, for fuck's sake. I got the achievement with minimal difficulties. Red coins on the floating isle, as you guessed, you have to complete without taking damage. And after carelessly running into a piranha plant and restarting, on my second attempt I actually managed to get the achievement. Wow, I am so proud of you, Mashtempo. Sure, it only took you 3 years to knock down the wooden plank to get to the last 2 red coins, and you almost fell, ruining the attempt. But hey, I'm proud of you. The next star is fall onto the caged island, and don't tell me I have to do the soloist. Nope! I'm not having it. There's no way I'm doing a precise triple jump into a perfect wall kick combo. Nope! Oh look guys, I performed hourless, aren't I so good at the game? And after getting blasted away the wall and the 100 coin star, where I honestly had way more fun killing the piranha plants than I should have. Rez! Bitch. I got the full course clear achievement. You might look at this and think, Mashtempo, why are you tending to the flowers when you're supposed to be saving the princess? And that is because I'm on a butterfly catching mission for 1-ups. If you don't know, these butterflies have a 1 in 3 chance of spawning a 1-up. And yes, this means that I can fail and have to start all over. So doing these first was practically a must. And I don't know if I'm the unluckiest man in the history of Mario 64, but I just didn't get anything. And after spending a good 20 minutes just trying to get one singular 1-up, like for God's sake, don't be so stubborn and give me a 1-up, you miserable pants. In fact, why did I even call you a butterfly? Besides the fly part, you're not even made of butter! Ahem. I decided to save it for later and attempted the wing cap course. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't like how the wing cap controls. It feels like you're controlling Mario operating an M1 Abrams. Yes, I know, it's a skill issue, but getting the red coin star was a pain. He just doesn't turn as much as I wanted him to. It felt so clunky to use. Like, I can't explain how many times I was close to getting all the red coins. But Mario decided to speed up on the last 2, causing me to miss them. And I know what you're about to say, just use the wing cap again to get the last batch of coins. But like I couldn't! I would triple jump and fly, and Mario, please! Please! I also had a giant issue with depth perception, as many times I thought I was gonna collect both coins, but Mario instead collected only one. But after a grueling 10 minutes later, I managed to get the red coin star along with Fly Baby Fly for activating the red switch. With one giant skill issue aside, and with the wing cap collected, I decided to go back to Bob-omb Battlefield so I could use it to get the achievement jump to the island of the sky. What, did you really think I was gonna go back and perform the 2 perfect long jumps? And now we're moving on to Jolly Roger Bay, with a warning on the sign that says, if you stay under the water for too long, you'll run out of oxygen. Well, thank you very much, game. The next thing you'll tell me is that every 60 seconds, a minute passes. Fun fact, I accidentally got the 3rd star first, where I had to open these chests in the correct order. It doesn't sound like an issue, and it really isn't, but I like to do things in order, and if I don't, I get pretty upset, and, this made me want to restart from a fresh save file. Is this what I get for being autistic? But I decided to move on and do Plunder in the Sunken Ship, and with some difficulties getting the eel out, I entered the ship and I still had some problems. Not only did I not know the pattern, but when I guessed the chest correctly, I didn't know that the bubbles they spawn give you air. So I would go to the surface here and replenish my health after every attempt. But after a really long time, I eventually got the star. Can the eel come out to play, which is honestly one of the most ominous mission names in the game, wasn't hard as well, and after minimal difficulties, I got the star and moved on to red coins on the ship afloat. This star doesn't have a hitless achievement because your life and air meter are shared, making it essentially impossible to beat it without losing health, so I got the star pretty easily. And now we have Blasted Stone Pillar, which you have to get without using the cannon for the achievement. And, just like before, if you think I'm gonna pull off a precise double long jump then a perfect wall kick to get to the star, think again. Although, unlike the cannonless achievement in Bob-omb Battlefield, I didn't have that many options, and I had to learn how to frame walk. But of course, in typical Mashtempo fashion, I mapped up to a different button on my controller and still had issues. Who knew that a trick where you had to make inputs every frame was gonna be so difficult? And after spending a good half an hour on this, I was getting nowhere. And honestly, this was starting to get on my nerves. I could continue talking about how hard this was, but I think the fact that you have to make an input every frame speaks for itself. But another 10 minutes later, I somehow managed to pull it off and get the achievement. This is huge, dude. This is actually huge. And then, once I saw what you have to do for the Through the Jet Stream achievement, I wanted to knock myself out with a brick and never wake up again. You have to get the star without using the metal cap, which doesn't sound hard, but let me tell you a quick story. I was still using the same controller I used to play the Tom and Jerry games for my last video. And if you don't know or just forgot, let me put you up to speed. I broke the A button. It still worked, but most of the time the button would get stuck, especially if you hold it or kept pressing it repeatedly. And that is bad for an achievement where I had to swim in a constant rhythm. I just knew I couldn't use the controller for this, even though I could have easily found a fix that I figured out way later. So I had to use a different controller. But I didn't go out and buy a new one. Instead, I used this beast. I mean, where do I even start? I bought this back in 2011. It was my first controller, and it looks like a giant tumor. It has no start or select button, the D-pad feels like you ran over a rabbit, and you have to use a lot of force for the rest of the buttons. And still, it is probably the most beautiful thing I own. And let me spare you the 30 minutes of me attempting this achievement. It's not that I lack rhythm, I just didn't know the right rhythm to use for swimming. I got fed up because no matter how fast or slow I swam, or in what direction I went to the star, nothing was working. So I went to the comments of the achievement to see if anyone posted any strategy, and noticed how everyone was talking about using 89 BPM. In a last-ditch effort, I actually pulled out an online metronome and set it to 89 BPM. And on my first attempt, oh my god! No way, dude. No way. No way. That's insane. That's insane. I could talk about the secret aquarium, but do I really have to? I swam, and got the red coin star along with the lifesaver achievement, where there's only one up, by the way, pretty easily. Honestly, watching paint dry while a snail gives a TED talk about tax law would be more exciting than this. After getting every achievement in Jolly Roger Bay, I could finally have fun and went to Cool Cool Mountain, and selected Slip Sliding Away, which... scary. No! No worries though, I found a shortcut and got the star before moving on to Little Penguin Lost. And honestly, I never realized how careless the mother penguin is. Not only does she leave her son and immediately forgets where she left him, apparently having the memory of a ostrich, she just stands there, doesn't even go and try to find him. Pointless rant aside, I save her kid to get the power star, and before I collect it, there's just one thing I wanna do. I did it. I waited 10 years for this. This makes me worse than the mother who forgot where her child is, doesn't it? With weird bloodlust for penguins aside, I want to do Big Penguin Race, and how do I put this? Oh, you're bad, you're shit. You're up. Anyway, now it's time to attempt the damageless achievement for the Frosty Slide for 8 red coin star. Honestly, I had a lot of trouble finding the last 2 coins. Like, they expected me to find one of the red coins here, which if you don't go by the lift, you can't see. And if you use the cannon to fire off in this random ass place here, you'll be greeted by another red coin. I also struggled a lot with the achievement. Like on my first attempt, I got every coin but made one of the worst blunders ever. Yeah, I don't know how this happened either. And after that, I just kept failing because I was being so careless with my movement. Like I'm telling you, this is the shit only I could pull off 7 red coins deep into an attempt. You're not gonna kill me. You're not gonna hit 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 me. But I'm gonna lose damage. A different way. But after an excruciating 10 minutes later, I got the achievement before moving on to Snowman's Lost His Head. And fixing the Snowman's body dysmorphia gave me ready to rematch Bowser for collecting 30 power stars. And for the final mission, you have the achievement Wall Kicks Will Work, but Flying too, for getting the star without touching the slopes, which was super easy since I just had to jump on this flower head. Pothead to find my way to the star. And after getting the 100 coin star for the full course clear achievement, I didn't fight Bowser, but made my way to Whomp's fortress with a lifesaver achievement. There's no real way to make bug catching interesting, but thankfully, after only a couple of tries, I got the 1-up and managed to get the rest without any issues. Also, did you know there's a 1-up hidden here? How did anyone even find this? I still refused to fight Bowser and went to Big Boo's haunt, which when I think about it, I probably shouldn't have done that since the layout was very confusing for me. Like for the first power star, I had no idea what I had to do. And when I killed the Boo and read the message, I just thought, bro, you are not him. Then spent time wandering around the underground portion of the stage before just googling what I had to do. After realizing that I'm a dumbass, I fought the big boo and got the star. I didn't go in star order for this stage as well, because I wanted to attempt the achievement Secret the Way Around the Haunted Books, for collecting Secret of the Haunted Books without solving the puzzle. And after a very questionable first attempt, I managed to triple jump to the star to get the achievement on my second try. I guess I didn't care about going in star order anymore. Look, I don't understand myself either. Anyway, I also slaughtered more ghosts to satisfy Mario's insatiable bloodlust, but to also get the second power star before moving on to seek the 8 red coins, or the red coin hitless achievement. The same thing happened where I was very close to getting the star on my first attempt. I had to find 3 more red coins, but I got hit by the eyeball a second before it despawned. I'ma be honest, I thought that once I spun around and defeated the eyeball, it would have collision, but I guess I was wrong. But on my second attempt, I managed to collect all the red. But on my third attempt, I managed to collect all the red coins and got the achievement. Is there paper in my mouth, bro? What the f? And after beating the ever-loving shit out of King Boo and displaying my dominance as the true alpha wolf of the Mushroom Kingdom, I got its star, and didn't attempt the last star at all. Yeah, you need a Vanish cap, and there's no way for you to get the star without it. So I collected the 100 coin star and attempted Poltergust 25,500. This is a Luigi expansion reference I don't get right. That requires you to beat the 2 big boos without taking damage. To clarify a little bit, you need to either beat the boo in Go on a Ghost Hunt or in the Merry-Go-Round section. And the second boo is the beta male in the balcony. And honestly, I could have been a Ghostbuster the way I was busting into these ghosts. No, wait, that's not how the script goes. And honestly, I could have been a Ghostbuster the way I defeated these ghosts without any issues and got the achievement on my first try. Run ZA, log jump. Run ZB, slide kick. Hold Z, a backflip. You might be wondering, Mashtempo, have you finally gone insane over Mario 64? And to that I say, oh, no silly, not yet. I was doing the achievement Show Me Your Moves, for performing all 15 moves Mario has. For some reason, I didn't get it normally in my playthrough so far, so I performed every move just in case and got the achievement. With that done, I finally opened the door to Bowser and fought him. Before I talk about Bowser in the Dark World, I have to say that every Bowser stage, besides the Lifesaver achievements, have only one achievement, and that is Flawless Victory. Not only do you have to beat Bowser without taking damage, but you also have to beat the stage without getting hit. And what I decided was to first attempt the Red Coin Star, since that doesn't have any achievement related to it. So I can attempt Flawless Victory as many times as I wanted to, and to say that I struggled with getting the Red Coin Star is an understatement. I honestly don't know if I'm actually just this bad at video games, because after whatever the fuck that was, I managed to get past the first section of the stage and collected every coin. What I literally had to do was climb up and get the star, but somehow I pulled this off. Get up? What do you mean? What the f- What? Thankfully though, on my next attempt, I got the star and managed to not get hit, meaning that if I also beat Bowser damageless, I'll get the Flawless Victory achievement. No, don't worry, I didn't have that much trouble fighting Bowser, surprisingly. But I did have an issue with throwing him. I think it's because I was swinging too much, causing me to miss, but thankfully on my second throw, I defeated him and got a Flawless Victory round 1. I just want to mention how silly Bowser looks in this game. He doesn't look like a threat who's trying to take over the world, but more like the ice cream vendor who drives around my neighborhood in his little ice cream truck. But with Bowser defeated, I can finally open up the basement of the castle, and before going into the next stage, I first had some business to finish. Rabbit, and let me tell you, catching this little piss stain was a pain in the ass. Like, stop running away and give me a star MIPS before I change my mind and use you as an ingredient for my rabbit stew! After the back and forth, I finally caught MIPS, meaning that I could now move on to draining the moat to get the Vanish Cap. Yeah, I just wanted to get the last star in Big Boo's Hunt first. Playing through the Vanish Cap stage was standard stuff for me, as I absolutely refuse to take things slowly. But can someone please explain to me as to why the first 2 cap stages have absolutely no red coin achievements? Like, this is not hate, I am just genuinely curious. I understand that you can't really have a hitless red coin achievement in the wing cap stage since your biggest enemy is a gust of wind, and you can argue that the Vanish Cap stage is easy to not get hit, to which I agree, but why not have speedrun achievements then? I would have loved to collect the red coins here under a certain time limit. It just kind of feels like missed potential. Anyway, what am I up to? I shouldn't have done anything. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Yeah, the last part of the stage gave me trouble. I feel like it's because of how fast the platforms are moving, causing me to have a lot of close calls, and the platforms doing this, which led me to way more deaths than I like to admit. But after finally taking things slowly, I unlocked the Vanish cap, which gave me the achievement Invisible, meaning I can finally get the last star in Big Boo's HUD to obtain the full course achievement. Actually, I'm curious, what is this guy's name? Big Mr. I. I wonder where they got the big part from. With the Vanish cap out of the way, I talked to Toad for a star, then headed over to Hazy Maze Cave. Fun fact, I actually had no clue what the layout of the stage was, meaning I kept looking at the map and reading the signs so I wouldn't get lost. And as I painstakingly made my way to the first star, man, I did not like the look of the stage at all. I understand that we're in a Hazy Maze Cave. But it just looks so ugly. I wanted to be done with the stage as soon as possible so I didn't have to look at it anymore. But as I made my way to the lake, I hopped on Dory and got the first star. For Elevate for 8 red coins, I thought you had to do damageless, but as it turns out, nope. There is no damageless red coin achievement for this stage. I have no idea why, but I am thankful, because otherwise, I would have shoved a fork up an electrical outlet. Getting the red coins here was an absolute chore, because I just did not like the controls of the platform at all. I just think they're unintuitive and clunky to work with. After countless failed attempts, including one where Mario decided to have some private time with a moving platform that sent me falling all the way down, I finally managed to grab the star. You might be wondering, Mashtempo, what the fuck? Did you leave your game on while you left to eat food? And, no. You see, I wanted to obtain the metal cap, and I had to use Dory to get it. But the thing is, I had no idea that I had to control them. So I spent like a good 10 minutes wondering what in the world is going on, and if my game was broken. I literally had to look it up and realize that you control Dory like a puppet, with each part of the head corresponding to where they'll go to. After that, I finally made it to the metal cap course. The stage isn't that interesting to talk about, but there's an achievement called Falling Like an Iron Bar, where you have to collect all the red coins without using a second metal cap. And after my terrible first attempt, where I didn't try to go to the surface, but instead thought I could push against the current, which made me fall all the way back to the outside area of the castle, I went back and decided to take things slowly. This achievement isn't really hard, but incredibly tedious, similar to the Mario Shoots in the Sky achievement back in Bob-omb Battlefield. You have to find the correct place to jump from and land in the water so you can collect the coins. And then the current will push you back to the beginning. And you have to repeat the process until you get the achievement. Or you can spend 5 minutes trying to reach the star. Yeah, that's another option as well. With the metal cap obtained, I managed to get the 3rd star. I managed to get the 3rd star and skip the next one as I wanted to do the achievement Amazing Jumps to the Exit, where you have to collect the star Amazing Emergency Exit without touching the toxic gas. And, much like earlier, if you think I'm gonna perform a precise double jump into a wall jump combo to land on the platform above me, then long jump to the star, or do a perfect triple jump into a wall jump combo to get the star immediately, think again. I performed a somersault into a wall jump combo, which is easier than it looks because I got it on my 2nd try, and then just long jump to the star. Call me a mouse. The way I be cheesing this shit. I know I'm talking about every star in detail, but to be honest, I cannot be bothered talking about Hazy Maze Cave anymore, especially because the remaining stars are easy as shit to get. So after obtaining the full course achievement along with the lobby at the top for getting 50 power stars, I went straight to Lethal Lava Land. You might have noticed that whenever a star has an achievement, I attempt it right away. But as I was going through the achievements for Lethal Lava Land, I decided to get the full course achievement first because, oh my, I really didn't want to deal with that right now. Oh, and if you thought that the stage would be easy for me, yeah, no. I had a lot of trouble dealing with the bullies, mainly because I didn't know the right timing for when to do the ground pounds to push them away, meaning that 9 times out of 10, I would turn Mario into spit roast as he falls into the lava and gets boiled alive. The 1st star wasn't that big of an issue to get, but the 2nd one, I mean, Christ, I didn't even land on the platform where the bullies were properly and I got pushed off. Yeah, I kinda knew that this would happen. I already had trouble dealing with one bully, yet alone more at once. Also, I love how you spend so much time dealing with these bullies and hear that cheerful victory sound effect only for your reward to be a boss fight. Yeah, thank you very much, game. I really needed that. The red coin star wasn't an issue at all, mainly because you didn't have to join a search party and scour the entire stage, and the fact that I could get hit and jump as many times as I wanted to. This totally isn't foreshadowing for when I have to talk about the achievements. The 4th star was easy as I literally just flew to it. But the last 2 stars really gave me a run for my money in all of the wrong ways. Like, I don't understand how can you fail at jumping from a pole. I'm still certain that this can only happen to me and me only. But honestly, for the last star, I don't understand how the developers expected kids to beat this. Not only do you have to make a leap of faith to get to the elevator, or just burn yourself, that works too, they also expect you to time a jump with the flame spinner that does damage to you if you poke your body out. This star took me far too many attempts as I just didn't know how to jump properly. However, on my last attempt, I managed to get Mario on the top of the pole and actually made the jump, getting the star. And after getting the 100 coin star, which surprisingly enough I got on my first try, I got the full course achievement. And now it was time to attempt the other achievements that I was putting off. The first one is Hot Bully, where you have to defeat both bullies without taking damage and without getting pushed. That, time to use the shell. Oh. Yeah, I think you should know by now, if there's a way to cheese something, you better believe I'm doing it. You're basically invincible when you're running a shell and cannot get pushed at all, so I got the achievement on my, yeah, let's say first try. Yeah, I think that's better. Since we're on the topic of shells, Hot Shell Ride for Golden Coins makes you collect 90 coins while running a Koopa shell. This achievement turned out to be way easier than I expected. Although, I am a complete bellend who doesn't know how to use a shell properly. It was mostly the fact that I kept forgetting you can slow yourself by holding down on the joystick, which honestly led to some pretty funny failed attempts. Oh, and me being me. It was still easier than the Red Coins achievement. Okay, you might be curious as to why I'm making such a fuss about this. Like, oh, just get hit, what's the issue? You also can't jump. The achievement is very fun to learn and rewarding, yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that it's hard. You basically have to do a roll dive every time you want to go over something, and I cannot explain to you how precise and perfect the first roll dive is. Like, I could probably continue talking for the rest of this achievement and still have enough footage to show you all my failed attempts. The only reason as to why I was consistent is because it was just ingrained in my muscle memory at that point. The rest is okay. Besides this part, where you have to do a roll dive that has weird timing, everything else is easy. But the nerves you'll get are insane. So, instead of me whining about the achievement, let me show you some of the funniest failed attempts. I somehow made a bully fall down and got knocked down by it. I got scared on the Bowser puzzle and I accidentally jumped. I got trolled by a moving puzzle piece, and my game was paused and I collected every coin, but since I unpaused with A, I failed the attempt. Yeah, you cannot press A whatsoever. After finally getting the achievement, I moved on to Shifting Sandland, where I died within 30 seconds of me selecting the first star. Beautiful. The second star is interesting, as we have delivery for the Ancient Pharaoh, where you have to collect it while holding a small crate, as Mario shoves his whole face in it and eats it. A very creative achievement, and not that hard to get. But I do want to know why this took me 35 minutes to obtain. Oh, I'll tell you why. I was a dumbass. The first part was easy, as you literally just walk forward, but you see, I thought in order to get on top of the pyramid, you had to do this weird double jump, which is not even possible to do that while holding a crate. I was literally just holding A longer. Holding A longer. Oh no. Yeah, I was still using the controller with the broken A button, and it fucked me over completely, as besides it getting stuck, it stopped reading inputs properly. And because of that, most of my attempts barely made it past the first jump in the pyramid section, or me making 300 IQ moves beyond your comprehension. So that made me whip out that old-ass controller that I talked about back in Jolly Roger Bay, which was a problem in and of itself, as I cannot control the camera, it doesn't have enough buttons, and it made me botch even more attempts. Although you were probably screaming at me to do this the entire time. Yeah, this is the moment I finally realized I could just rebind jump to a different button. I just overcomplicated the process. Still doesn't change the fact that I suck at the game. I also took a look at the comments of the achievement because there was no way I was failing this badly. And yeah, as I said earlier, you can just hold jump and you'll get across it. You have enough height. Bravo me. The next star also has an achievement, Secret Passage to the Temple Treasure, where you have to collect it without going below the top platform in the pyramid. You literally just long jump. Trying to get inside the pyramid was harder than this. Stand tall on the 4 pillars as you beat iRock to get the star. So of course for the achievement Handbreaker, you have to beat them without taking damage. I was honestly a little bit spooked as I never knew how they function as a boss, but just like the last achievement, trying to get inside the pyramid was way harder. Like Christ, Mario just woke up some ancient Egyptian god that could have easily flicked him away like a flea, but instead they stand like they're at a checkout line at Walmart. Unrelated, though I love how I named my fall for this achievement as Pyramid Damageless. I was really creative with the file names sometimes. And to keep the streak rolling, the red coin achievement was also pretty easy as well. You fly for almost the entire run, so the risk of getting hit is basically zero. Unless you're me and decide to take a little stroll into the shifting sand and get suffocated! Although, Nintendo, why did you put 9 1-ups in this stage? That's the third highest number of 1-ups in a course, by the way. Like, it's not hard, I got it on my first try. But like, did I really need to walk on this specific path in the pyramid for a 1-up to spawn? Why are most of these 1-ups in such random places? Like, what the f— Well, that was refreshing. A stage as hard as Shifting Sandland had easy achievements. I hope that from now on, the rest of the achievements in the basement area are gonna be similar in difficulty. Dire Docks. The stars here are just objectively not hard, especially compared to literally every other stage in the basement, which leads me to believe that this was the first course they designed, particularly because this stage is known for all of its inconsistencies. If you don't know, Bowser's Submarine had cake, and every time it loads in, the game's frame rate drops to like 1 per year, making everything in this part of the stage practically unplayable. On a normal playthrough, this would be just a minor annoyance, but for me, this is horrible, because Dire Docks sports the only missable achievement in the set. Like the name says, missable achievements can be permanently unavailable if certain conditions aren't met at the right time during gameplay, meaning that you can either tackle them immediately or do them on a second playthrough. And for Dire Docks, I'd rather get the achievement right away, because I would be suffering regardless of what playthrough I'm on. Some of you probably realized what the achievement is, but for everyone else, submarine jumps for red coins requires you to collect every red coin before the submarine moves away. Yes, no shit. This was hard, but I was frustrated not because of the difficulty, but because I have to perform multiple precise jumps in an area where the frame rate is depressed. At this point, I needed to send in a cheer squad or a motivational speaker to pep up the game, so it could stabilize the frame rate. Like, please just function properly! The frame rate most of the time ate my inputs, making any kind of movement practically impossible. I was trying to get this red coin here for a good 40 minutes, and I was already getting a little bit tilted, and my computer decided it was a great idea to blue screen and corrupt my recording. You know, I think the game finally decided to kill itself. I decided to take a break and do this later. Thankfully, I was only 3 coins in, so I didn't lose a lot of progress. On my next attempt, I figured out how to remove the lag from the submarine area and tackle this achievement again. And even though the frame rate is stable now, it was still very, very hard. I first decided to collect the red coins on the floating platforms. The first one is literally within arm's reach, having to do nothing to get it, while the second one requires you to do a double jump at the near end of the platform and dive at the peak of the jump. So far, so good. To get to the other platform, you just have to long jump to it, and the third red coin will be yours. Then just jump dive for the fourth. And for the fifth red coin, you literally just triple jump to it. These first 5 coins, as you can tell, were not an issue to obtain at all. The last 3 are. For the 6th red coin, you need to position yourself perfectly so you can perform a triple jump off of the edge of the submarine and then execute a dive while also avoiding the barriers. I cannot tell you how many times I fell off the submarine while trying to find the right angle to jump from. I would either always overshoot or undershoot. But this was child's play compared to the last 2 red coins. For your 7th one, this time you're aiming to long jump to the barrier, wall jump, then carefully time a dive to collect the coin. I'm going to be honest, the only reason this was hard for me was that I didn't know when to dive. I think you have to do it at the peak of your jump. I have no clue, I was just pressing it randomly. Thankfully, I was lucky enough to get it in like 10 minutes. But the 8th and final red coin though, I was ready to serve it with an eviction notice, because it clearly didn't want to be collected! And once more, if you think I'm gonna do a slide jump off of this submarine, hit this precise wall jump to grab onto the platform, and then long jump to get the coin, think again. And yes, I know there's an easier way of performing a triple jump into an immediate dive roll, but honestly, knowing me, there was a way higher chance of me collecting the star on accident than to do the triple jump, so I didn't want to do it at all. So I opted to climb on top of the submarine's fin and long jump my way to the coin. This looks fairly easy, but I cannot begin to describe how long this took me. First off, if you can't tell, the fin is like 2 pixels wide, leaving absolutely no room for error. I mean this literally. Most of my attempts, I didn't even perform the long jump at all, and you need some speed for you to have enough height to make it across. You cannot just only long jump. And on top of that, the angle of which you have to long jump is insanely precise. I have had so many attempts fail because I didn't long jump from the right angle. It's actually insane. Also, don't get me started on attempts where I had enough speed, hit the angle, but because the game said fuck you, I didn't grab on the ledge and fell in the water. Or you can even just ground pound. Like Mario, you sack of spaghetti. Stop screwing around and long jump to the coin. Otherwise, I'll go underwater and whoops! Sorry Mario, the A button is broken. I just can't swim and go to the surface. But after a grueling hour later, I got the last coin. This achievement took me 2 hours in total. Well, 2 hours and like 50 minutes, if you want to count the previous attempt where the computer blue screen like a day before. And I can say for certain that this is the hardest achievement in the set. But despite the difficulty, I really enjoyed the achievement. I just like torture... Challenging myself and learning how to get to these coins was really fun. Except for the last red coin. Just fuck that coin, dude. I hope its pillows are warm on both sides when they go to sleep. Oh, and there's Swim for the Jet Stream 2, where you have to collect the star without using the metal cap. And I just have one word for this. Metronome. While finishing up Dire Docks, I also got the achievement ready for the final match, for grabbing 70 power stars. And now we can enter Bowser in the Fire Sea to face off our favorite ice cream vendor to get flawless victory round 2. Fun fact, I immediately attempted this after the fiasco in Dire Docks, which was a pretty bad idea considering I was up until 2 AM doing the achievement and I was pretty tired as well, which led to some pretty funny failed attempts, not gonna lie. So I took a break and continued tomorrow. No, never mind, I was still shit nonetheless. We are gaming hard. It is unreal. Are you kidding me? Okay. Bowser the Fire Sea is a relatively easy stage. There are very little things that can hurt you. It's a very straightforward level. Although the last part of the level gave me trouble even though it shouldn't have. I was rushing for no reason, even though you can stand on the top of the elevated platform because the lava can't reach you. Of course, it's always me and my shenanigans. Shenanigans. As I made my way to Bowser, he introduced me to his new ice cream flavor. The Knuckles sandwich he's gonna get during this fight. Yeah! Oh. Never mind, vanilla works just fine as well. I know that my only knowledge of the game was speedruns up until this video, but I never knew that after the second fight, grabbing his tail immediately wasn't the official strategy. I actually had to look up how to beat the fight, and honestly, I was pretty mind blown at the fact that if you get far enough away from him, he starts chasing you like he missed the bus, and yeah, after learning this, beating him wasn't that much of an issue. He still dies in one hit. So after securing the Flawless Victory achievement, I made my way back to Dire Docks. Yeah, there were still some achievements I didn't get. The first one is the full course achievement. I left the 100 coin star last as I didn't want to collect the red coins with the submarine still present. Like Christ, I don't hate myself that much. The last achievement was pole jumping for a Vanish star, where you have to collect board Bowser sub after the submarine has moved away. And I thought that this was gonna take a long time since, well, you can't see it, but you literally just have to wait until the pole moves at the start of this barrier and jump. Well, I'm thankful this didn't take 3 hours. After collecting every achievement in the basement area, we can finally go back to Bowser the Dark World. Huh? Yeah, for some reason, after defeating Bowser in the Fire Sea, all of the 1-ups unlock for that stage and this one, which means that the Lifesaver achievements were completely inaccessible up until now. Extremely weird design choice, but whatever really, as that means I officially have every achievement in the main area and the basement area. And as I unlock the upstairs, I just kinda want to reflect back on my journey and, never mind, I kinda don't want to go for the 15 hours of footage again, so now we move on to Snowman's Land. I actually had no clue where to go to get to the Snowman. I thought there was no way it was here. There's snow that pushes you. That's where you have to go. And I just want to say that it took me a couple of attempts to figure out that the penguin that protects you from the wind doesn't just move forward. An embarrassing number of times. Next up is Chill with the Bully, where, just like with the bullies in Lethal Lava Land, you have to beat the Chill Bully without taking damage or being pushed. And, Shell. Michelle, my Shell. The red coin damageless achievement was also pretty easy, as you need to use the shell, and, well, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. At this point, I thought to myself, wow, these achievements in Snowman's Land were pretty easy and fun, and the stars weren't a problem either. Well, most. Let me get the rest of the achievements before getting the full course clear. And I had one achievement left, which was Cool Shell Ride for golden coins, where I have to collect 75 coins while riding the shell. Again, I thought, oh, well, the same achievement in Lethal Lava Land wasn't that hard, and actually pretty fun. It must be the same case here as well. So after 56 minutes I got the achievement. I cannot even begin to explain how much I hated this achievement. Out of all 114 in the set, this was the one where I didn't have a single moment of fun from start to finish. You see, Lethal Lava Land is a pretty open level, so getting every coin wasn't an issue. But with Snowman's Land, the surface area is about as cramped as the most expensive apartment in New York. You have so little space to navigate. And honestly, I don't think the shell controls work well when you're playing it like it's open heart surgery. Slow and precise. Mario's shell ride during open heart surgery. Like, you could be combing your way slowly through the level, collect every coin along the way perfectly, but whoops! Sorry that I wanted to collect the coin, I guess. Also, please explain to me why both of those weren't a scalable surface, but this was. 75 coins doesn't sound like a lot compared to 90, but if you don't collect every coin from one enemy, you lost the run. Like here, where I was on a really good run. But I decided against killing the Snowman, which, by the way, fuck this angle. He spawns in such an uncomfortable place for you to circle around him, and I collected every other coin. Literally every other coin besides the Snowman's. And I went up to collect the last batch of coins on the route I was taking, and I failed the run with 74 coins left. Also, you didn't have so many trees in the way, which now makes me want to deforest the entire stage and kill every living being in it. Or this section with the wind blowing you back, with you sometimes having no control over the environment. By the way, back to the Snowman, why do they respawn immediately when you kill them? I honestly don't want to spend more time on this achievement, as I would rather do the Dire Docks Red Coins achievement 10 times over than to attempt this only once. Thankfully though, I only had the full course clear and lifesaver achievements left, which weren't that hard to get. So that means I can finally move to Wet Dry World. And as for this stage, well, wait. Am I reading this correctly? Huh. Wet Dry World doesn't have any star-related achievements at all. Besides the full course and lifesaver achievements, and the one warp you have to use for its achievement, you have half empty or half full, where you have to access the stage at every water capacity, which you have to do either way. Huh. Well, the achievements when it comes to content was Wet Dry World, but the Wet Dash World is silent, which leaves you with Dry. I mean, the stars weren't that hard, and the stage was interesting. Now it's the perfect time to lower the bitrate with confetti. Now it's time to move on to Tall. Now it's time to move on to Tall Mountain. The warp is here. The warp... I didn't even know how to transition to that clip properly. I just wanted to show you how funny it is. I had a hard time scaling the mountain mainly because of this log here. Now, don't laugh at me, but at first I didn't know that you had to walk in the opposite direction to move the log forward. Why yes, I did have bad grades in physics. This is why I study computer science. That led me to fall off quite too many times, besides other things. But after obtaining the first star, it is time to attempt my favorite type of star. Trace the exact same steps, but do something slightly differently when you reach the top. The red coin star doesn't have any achievement related to it, and I'm thankful because, you know. But the next star does. To obtain Mystery of the Mysterious Mountain. What? Is that the actual achievement name? Oh my god, it is. To obtain Mystery of the Mysterious Mountainside, you have to collect the star without using the slide. And to not repeat myself, I wasn't gonna do the trick with the wind spot, as honestly I have no clue what you even have to do here. So I figured out you could barely make it to the star if you jump on the Shy Guy and slowly fly your way to it to get the achievement without any problems. You know, I was very cheesed to find out this strategy. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, to unlock the cannon in this world, they hit the Bob-omb guy here of all places? Like, sure. Anyway, the last star has an achievement, Friendly Visit to the Lonely Mushroom, where you have to collect it without using the cannon, which, if you told me that the official way to get to the star was to long jump to it, I would believe you. Wasn't hard at all. Oh, and before I move on, I just want to talk about the 100 coin star. No, it wasn't hard, but the last batch of coins I had to collect were on the slide. And once again, no, that part wasn't hard, and I didn't die. But when the star appeared, I jumped back to collect it, only to accidentally end up in a dive position. By the time I returned to the slide, the star had despawned. Safe to say, on my second attempt, I didn't make the same mistake. It's time to get the Lifesaver achievement, and I have to collect butterflies again. And this level has 11 1-ups to obtain? No thanks, I'm gonna do this later. Get me to Tiny Huge Island ASAP. First off, you have an achievement for reading this sign? In fact, why do most people call it a troll sign? I don't get it. Oh, I see why. It makes you barf out a tiny huge island. This course's gimmick is interesting, as honestly, I never knew you could enter the pipes to enlarge and shrink Mario. I probably should have phrased that differently. Either way, the stars at this point weren't giving me trouble at all. Maybe because this game's target audience is children, but I did spend like 5 minutes trying to figure out if I could enter in the mountain because I saw these outlines in the water, without me realizing you had to go drain it as Big Mario. As for the achievements, the Red Coins Damageless achievement makes a comeback, and honestly, as I was making my way to the Red Coins, I didn't know you could crouch to stop using the shell. I was trying to bonk myself against an object, but as you see, that wasn't working so well. I guess you learn something new every day. But yeah, besides that, the red coins were going smoothly. Oh, for f***'s sake. What's funny is that I never got hit. All my failed attempts happened because I was a god gamer. After getting Red Challenge on the island, it was time to visit Wiggler and fight them without taking damage for the Beetle Squasher achievement. And you wanna know something funny? Just like with iRock, I never knew how Wiggler works as a boss. It's not hard at all, but in the final phase of the fight, I did not expect Wiggler to jump, and I got hit because of that. It's safe to say that I learned from my mistakes and got the achievement on my second attempt. Oh look! Koopa the Quick is back, with a new pair of Nikes. Well, tough luck, bitch. I have my Crocs on sport mode. You don't stand a chance. Although I do want to say that hearing his footsteps get louder and louder as he gets faster and faster is straight out of a horror game. Resident Mario. And as you've probably guessed, there's a speedrun achievement for this star, Mario's speedrun on the island, where you have to beat him under 20 seconds or less. I thought it was gonna be more difficult than the first Koopa the Quick achievement, but no. Just take the path you would normally and long jump like crazy. I got this on my second try, because on my first one, look, I accidentally left my Crocs on relaxed mode. I also find it interesting how some users said that this achievement was harder than the first one. Like, sure, I was 0.2 seconds off from failing, but you literally just go forward. You don't have to do a basically perfect triple jump or align yourself slowly and give Mario a stroke and hope to god you make it. Like, to each their own, I guess, but you don't have to do any speedrun tricks. Also, for the Lifesaver achievement, you have to catch butterflies again, and this time you need to do it thrice. So yeah, I decided 3 times! And there are 10 1-ups! Dude! I didn't really want to bother with the Lifesaver achievement for Tall Tall Mountain and Tiny Huge Island, so I saved them for last before fighting Bowser. Which reminds me, I realized that I was missing one secret star. When I added up every star from the last 2 stages, I got 116. When you add the secret stars from Toad, Wing Mario over the rainbow, and Bowser in the sky, I'd be at 119 stars. Well, that's because MIPS is hiding another secret star I didn't even know about. Thankfully, it was easier for me to catch him this time. Oh yeah, as I said before, you have to play the secret stage Wing Mario over the rainbow, and look, I really don't want to repeat myself again, because all of the complaints I had for the Wing Cap stage translate over here as well. Thankfully, due to how the stage is designed, I didn't have that much trouble getting the red coins. But still, it made me want to fly Mario to 2 specific towers and... With the secret stars out of the way, we can now move on to Tick-Tock Clock. And before even entering the stage properly, I went to get the achievement The Clock is Ticking, for entering it with all possible time states. Which, by the way, is such a horrible design choice. Like, if this wasn't an achievement, I would have never known that the stage changes speed based on when you enter it. I would think the speed of the stage is just random. And no, you can't say, well, Toad gave you a warning beforehand, because to be frank, I forgot what he said 3 seconds later. But you're telling me from this message I was supposed to figure out that entering at 12 freezes the stage, 3 makes everything move slowly, 6 makes everything move randomly, and 9 makes everything move quickly. I am getting way too worked up over nothing. I actually decided to attempt the red coin star first, since the achievement Red Challenge in the Clock makes you collect them in the fastest time state, which I thought wouldn't be that hard, but Yeah, no, going up the platforms wasn't gonna be the strategy. So what I eventually came up with is I would climb up the clock and long jump from this specific cube to get these 4 red coins, and collect the 2 at the bottom because they can be reached from the spawn point. Then I would climb up fully up the cubes and fall off here to collect the last 2 coins. Now, this achievement doesn't sound hard, and you would be right. I would say that this is an intermediate challenge, but this took me over an hour to get. Collecting the red coins wasn't that hard, it was climbing up the clock because my mom called me special when I was 6. I was honestly not prepared for the speed, nor the cubes which move at a constant rhythm, and because of that, I kept rushing, which led to some embarrassing but pretty funny fail attempts. Back on the cubes, like I said, I still wasn't used to the speed, so I died a lot trying to learn the rhythm. I actually lost a lot of runs here, and I think it's because I was just super impatient, and combined with the cubes being a little bit broken, I died here the most. Or I died because I was rushing on the stairs. I actually have a lot of attempts that fail like this. The bombs also gave me a lot of trouble too. Yes, this is an actual fail attempt. I would just run past them, which sometimes didn't work. By the way, how the fuck was there a barrier there? I hit nothing. I kept doing that until in one of my runs, I actually made it past while angering a Bob-omb. I was pretty calm since every time they fell off the ledge. But somehow, he glitched through the floor and I fell because of that. I have no words. So with all of that combined, this achievement took me a pretty long time. Fun fact, on my final attempt, when I finally collected every red coin, I didn't collect the star immediately. So I made my way back up and I missed it again, and again, and again, and again. Luckily, on my 5th attempt, I collected a star and got the achievement. I swear, if I had fallen off at any point while trying to collect the star, I'd probably be on the FBI's most wanted list by now. Thankfully, after that, there weren't any star-related achievements because you literally just have to climb up the clock. So I entered the stage when it was completely frozen or at the slowest speed, and got them all, no issue. Like roll into the cage, which after collecting it... This means we can now move on to Rainbow Ride. Now, just like with Lethal Lava Lad, I decided to go and get the full course achievement first, because I've been told by many people how I will end up hating the stage due to how hard it is. And there is one achievement in here that I didn't want to attempt immediately. And I mean... yeah, it is hard, but I just can't help but love it. Okay, love is a strong word, but I greatly enjoy the platforming segments. It just feels like the developers made the stages a playground to test the game's mechanics, and I seriously appreciate that. Except for the carpet ride segments, I don't think anyone enjoys that. At this speed, I wouldn't be surprised if these carpets are contemplating their purpose in life. They are so slow. Like, just get a move on, you towel! It's not my fault you're late to your own retirement party. This stage took me the longest to get every star, mostly because of these carpets, man. Because if you fall or die, it's just even more waiting around on these slow, boring rides. Oh yeah, this is the last stage where you have to activate the cannon, meaning that I finally unlocked the Cannoneer achievement. Why didn't I talk about the cannons after Whomp's Fortress? Honestly, I forgot and couldn't be bothered to go back and find it in the footage. And also, I don't think it's that interesting to mention every single time I talk to this pink guy to open up the cannon. Same goes for the warp achievements. Like, wow, I stood still and now I'm in a different place? Absolute cinema. Get me a director's cut version of this. Although, the Lifesaver achievement wasn't as easy. In fact, out of all the Lifesaver achievements, this one took the longest. It was my second most time-consuming achievement overall, right behind the Dire Docks red coin achievement, and just ahead of the TikTok clock red coin achievement. And to spare myself the time, I already made a route in my head that I was gonna take. First, I was gonna get every one-up in the platforming section of the level, starting with this one at the bottom, then the one on the tricky triangles. I would then make my way to the carpets, and start with the one that takes you to the big house first, so I could get the one-up on this plank, and then go on top of the maze to get the one-up there. So I could drop down from this plank to get another one-up, before taking the carpet again, so I could get the one-up on the top of the house. And then, I would take the other carpet so I could get the remaining one-ups. I chose to do them last because it fucking windy, and there was a high chance it would just fall off and die. As you can see, the worst offender here is that the level has 9 one-ups that you have to collect, and it takes you around the stage multiple times. And not only is this achievement an endurance run, I thought it was an incredible idea to do this at 2 in the morning, so I think that's why it took so long. I made so many careless mistakes because for most runs my brain was on autopilot mode and I didn't really think about what I was doing. But the thing is, even though it did take me a long time, for most of my attempts, I was 2 to 3 1-ups away from getting the achievement. It's just that a run can last up to 15 minutes or more because, well, the carpets are powered by sheer apathy. But the thing is, even though it took me an hour and 20 minutes to get the achievement, I thought the last achievement in the stage was gonna take me even longer and I really didn't want to do it. And that achievement is Board the Cruiser in the Sky, where you have to collect cruiser crossing the rainbow without using any carpet. Oh my god, are we doing carpetless? Well, yeah, but for the first star. But the thing is, there was no way for me to cheese this. I had to use the route that basically everyone took for this achievement. To do this, head to the top floor of the maze, then long jump at the corner to wall jump and land on top. Then jump to squeeze your way to the glass structure, or whatever this is, so you can long jump towards the pole and carefully allow yourself to land on this blue block to sideways somersault so you can get to the ship and grab the star. And you can guess on my first attempt I immediately failed. What? Nah, this must be an accident. There's no way. Huh. Yeah, no, this achievement wasn't that hard at all. I was consistently landing the wall jump, and the only reason it took so long was because I kept long jumping to the glass structure, which caused me to fail about 90% of the time. Once I realized you could just jump to it normally, I quickly got the achievement. Well, that was a good way to end off Rainbow Ride. Now it's time to suffer with the remaining Lifesaver achievements. Let me tell you, I dreaded doing these because of the aforementioned butterflies. But the thing I quickly realized is, for Tall Mountain and Tiny Huge Island, one of the butterflies guarantee a 1-up, while the other two transform into a ball. I don't know why this was different in Whomp's Fortress, because out of all my attempts there, I never had a butterfly transform into these balls. They would just transform into nothing. I was probably going over the wrong batch of butterflies, but whatever. I managed to get the Lifesaver achievements here pretty quickly actually. Tall Mountain's 1-ups weren't an issue at all. In fact, the hardest part for me was for a butterfly to not transform to a big black ball as the others flew away. Same for Tiny Huge Island, honestly. Sure, you do have free butterfly patches, but I did those free first, so I can restart immediately if I fail and collect the rest without any difficulties. So with everything done, there was one thing standing in my way to master this set. Bowser in the Ice Cream Factory. Bowser in the Sky. My plan for this stage was to get every achievement possible before facing Bowser. There weren't a lot, but damn, this took longer than expected. I first went for the Lifesaver achievement to get it out of the way, and I got humbled in the first minute of the level. Not only is this one of the hardest stages in the game, some of the 1-ups were a pain in the ass to get. Like the first one, because it's on a spinning platform, it's very easy for the 1-up to just fall off the map while you can't do anything because you forgot how physics work. Or the 1-up that spawns on another spinning platform. This one is even worse, dear God. And combine it with me being me, I spent a good 20 minutes collecting the 1-ups here. When it comes to the star, getting the first 7 red coins wasn't an issue. Collecting the last was. On every attempt, I would get every red coin, but when it came time to collect the last one, nope! But thankfully, I really quickly realized I had to jump from the stairs and quickly collected the last star in the game, getting me full course around the castle for collecting every secret star and full power for finally collecting 120 stars. All I had to do now was defeat Bowser and his ice cream van without taking damage and finish the game. I've been looking for something to fry with my fire breath. Oh really? Well that's just good. I just bought some raw turkey. Thank you so much, Bowser. You're such a great person. What the fuck did you do to the turkey? Playing this stage without getting hit wasn't an issue whatsoever, as I gained a lot of experience navigating it by collecting the 1-ups in the star. But fighting Bowser, not only does it take 3 hits instead of 1 now to defeat him, but it looks like the guy was conducted the entire time and produces electricity every time he jumps. And look, I actually have no idea why this fight gave me so much trouble. Maybe I was intimidated by Bowser's look as he is somehow reflecting light now, or the fact that when you hit him twice, he breaks apart the floor, leading to less space to not get hit. Or the fact that I still didn't have the muscle memory for spinning Bowser properly, leading me to throw him in the middle of nowhere. And maybe I was just nervous that I got to the final phase, leading me to make stupid decisions. It had been a week since I fought Bowser at the time of scripting this part, and I don't know Wanna know something funny, by the way? The strategy I used for every attempt was to guide Bowser as close to the spiked balls as possible, so I can throw him immediately. And when the third phase started, I would wait out until Bowser broke the floor into the star shape and then fight him, which you can guess by now was very hard for me. But after 40 minutes of attempts, I thought of something. Wait, he's standing still during that move. Maybe I can grab him by the tail without worrying about dodging his attacks. So during a really good attempt where I barely dodged Bowser, I made it to the final phase, grabbed him by the tail, and... is to literally aim forward. Please! Let's go! Oh my god. As I grabbed the star, I finally beat Super Mario 64 for the first time ever. On a real note, seeing this ending cutscene felt kinda surreal, not gonna lie. I had seen it countless times through playthroughs, speedruns, streams, etc. But here I am, 10 years later, witnessing this for myself. And all I get for literally saving the kingdom's a peck on the nose? Like, are you serious, princess bitch? Let's bake a delicious cake. Well, I hope that after all of this, Mario gets to bake your cake. After defeating Bowser, I got Flawless Victory Final Round for beating the entire stage without getting hit, and the power of all 120 stars for defeating Bowser after getting all power stars in the game, along with thanks for playing for just beating the game. And even though I 100%ed the game, there are still 3 achievements that I have to get. First off, we're gonna make our way back to Cool Mountain, because if we go inside the slide, you're gonna notice something different about the penguin. He has gotten a little bit of shape since the last time you've seen each other. I guess now I know where all the turkey had gone. And if you beat him in his ultimate form, you'll get the achievement Out of Shape. I am also missing the last Lifesaver achievement. Specifically, I have to get every 1-up outside of the castle. And 2 of them are from the butterflies. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Thankfully, I grabbed them right away. Along with the 1-up from this tree and another for collecting both coins under the bridge. Funny enough, the final 3 were on top of the castle. And as I climbed into the cannon... Okay. We are in the cannon. And let's see if my childhood was a lie. Oh my god, he's there, he's there, he's there. Oh my god, you actually are here. You are real. Oh my god, hi. Hey there, Yoshi. Oh my god. After 26 hours and 53 seconds of total playtime spanning across 5 days, I mastered Super Mario 64 and finally got to see Yoshi for myself. And then like 10 seconds later, he drowns himself. I've been waiting 10 years for this. Well, I guess I found the 26th way to kill him. Was the journey worth it? Yes, it absolutely was. Not only did I 100% Super Mario 64, a game I've been putting off my entire life, but I also did it while collecting every single achievement along the way. While it had its downsides, I enjoyed this set very much. I absolutely loved how it challenged me to go beyond my comfort zone and made me do things that I didn't even know I was capable of. It made me feel like I truly mastered Super Mario 64, not just completed it. While I truly did get every achievement in the game, I still want to challenge myself more with the various subsets this game has. I want to try the coin collector subset, but honestly the main set exhausted me. So if the video gets to... Wait, how many likes did my last video get? 1.4 thousand likes? Let's say 500 likes. Yeah, if this video gets to 500 likes, I'll do the coin collector subset. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, I would highly appreciate if you would subscribe. If you have a buck to spare, consider donating to my coffee. It helps out a lot. And if you want to see more updates about my videos, consider following me on Blue Sky. Oh, and before I go, of course I knew that Yoshi was actually in the game the entire time. I am not that stupid, okay?